Welcome, Stephen. It's great to have you here and a real pleasure that you could make it. It's great 5 years after you took over EOH that we can probably sit and smile and have a lighter hearted chat about the journey. I don't think too many people would probably have predicted the outcome of where EOH would be today.
Thanks for having me, Zaid. Yes, it has been a tough journey, but at least we can look back and go through the experiences and smile about it. I think even the banks, even the lenders have learned out of it just as much as we are.
So, Stephen, when you took over as CEO in July 2018, not too many people would have predicted what the journey in the next few years would have looked like for EOH. For you, as the incoming CEO, what was your view or perspective of EOH prior to joining to when you actually took the seat as a CEO?
It's a very interesting question. In the due diligence that I did, obviously, having been a banker for 25 years, I went back and spoke to my customers and said, what do you think of EOH? Who are they? And everyone came back and said, great company, do great work, probably a bit fragmented, too many different, companies, so very hard to see what the whole is. But overall, good people doing good work and delivering well. And that was the main reason why I thought when I got asked to come and operationalize it, take these 282 companies, create a proper strategy, create a proper listed corporate. I mean, it's what I'd done for years, was really fix and build. The other thing that was very interesting about the company is they had a big employability drive.
Right.
And they were being very successful. They had something like a 72% success rate on training unemployed and actually getting them jobs. And I thought that would be, quite a cool thing in this whole 4R industry, right in the middle of it, with the president wanting it done and having his own, a commission. That's what I was expecting. And clearly when I got there, it took me a little while to work out that there was a problem in the accounts. And I know people like you had counseled me going in that as lenders, you had some issues, I should have a look and everything. We didn't really get into the real detail and understand it until Megan came in as the new FD. The thing that really surprised me the most was the fact of the head office corporate fraud. And that was a lot worse than I thought would be in a corporate. In that industry, there's always a bit of things going on and you work hard to close them out. But I was very disappointed when that whistleblower came out in early Feb, and it was true.
And so I guess going in with such a perspective before to very quickly learning, what some of the challenges may be, what steps did you actually take to address some of the financial governance as well as operational issues? And how did that fit into your overall turnaround strategy?
One thing I'd promised myself is ever I became the group CEO of a listed company, if things went wrong, I wouldn't put it all on my own shoulders because I've seen bigger and better people than me fail by taking it all on their own. The first thing was I had to get rid of all of the board and all of the management that were involved. They would always be seen as complicit. And I didn't want to, in a situation like this, have to look behind my back the whole time. So we started first with the board and then the management. And then the most important thing I did, I realized that we were in a very difficult space for the industry, that the industry probably hasn't experienced what we were about to go through. And that's maybe some of the failings of some of those international companies who didn't really sort it out here properly. So I went to go and find the best I could to fill positions. So it's like going and hiring Lewis Hamilton to be your Uber driver. You had to get someone who was almost too qualified. So for Chief Risk Officer, I went and got Fallon Newman, ex-bank CRO. Megan Apadigadu came out of Mixed Telematics. She had listed them on the NASDAQ. So she had, good, a strong background. And then we made sure we backfilled into those positions really good people with really good experience. That then allowed me to rely on them. They say you always got to hire people better than you, etc. But when you're in a crisis, You know, if you've fallen out of the boat and you're rolling down the rapids, you can't be shouting to the guy who's piloting the boat to come and fetch you how to pilot the boat. You've got to have someone who can pilot the boat. And that's, when I look back, was definitely the best thing I did, because then I could really rely on people to do all their bits. So we ran in parallel rather than in series, and that made a huge difference.